How did you accidentally find out your partner was cheating? The new fancy car was receiving his texts. I was driving. My friend found out her husband was cheating the same way via his Tesla. Tesla seemed so fitting for shitty behavior. He died and his affair partner showed up to the funeral, editing to answer the main question I'm being asked. I found out about the affair because she was sobbing like she was very close to him, but I didn't recognize her. I asked who she was, and she told me everything. I then asked my family to make her leave because my kids were there, and I didn't want to make a scene. He sent me a message meant for her. He tried to play it off, but he'd used a nickname. He'd never called me, and the message made no sense to the conversation we'd been having. Oh, funny. This is how I found out my dad was cheating on my mom. On my birthday, he sent me a text message meant for his mistress and tried to cover it up. There was no coming back from that one. So sorry you went through this. I had to poop one day while making a delivery near her apartment. Apartment doors all faced the inside courtyard. So I parked, ran around front, knocked, told her, hey, I had to use her bathroom. Did my business, kissed her, told her I'd call her later. Got back in the delivery van. My coworker pointed and asked, is that her window? I said it was. He just replied, that guy leaving in the Pontiac just came out of her window. That's wild. Your coworker is solid blonde hair in my hairbrush. I'm a brunette. Edit. Some people asked how I confronted him. I did not, I just left. 10/10 would recommend this method. So one day I'm scrolling TikTok. I like longer videos of people talking, and I scroll onto a video of a girl talking about her dating life. I liked the video and even commented agreeing with her, relevant later. I guess because I interacted with her video, I started getting all of her new videos. I would like them if I thought they were funny, but that was it. She is not famous or anything, a handful of followers, but she posts little story times. One day I noticed there's a little badge that says friends with my BF on her video. I thought it was really weird considering she only had 10 followers. I asked him about it, and he said she followed him, so he just followed her back. We obviously fought over that, but the girl does live in our city, and my boyfriend posts a lot of gym content, so it was plausible that she found his account and followed him first. Months pass, and I get the dreaded "Hey girl" message from her. She explained that she thought I knew because of my passive-aggressive comment on her video, but my boyfriend had broken up with her and told her I didn't know, so she decided to tell me the video was her talking about men choosing stable choices instead of her, the fun choice, and just being frustrated about always being second. I just commented something like, you'll find your person. So I now see how that came off as passive-aggressive had I known they were hooking up. Edit. Because this got way more attention than I thought. He is obviously an ex and has been since that situation 2 years ago. I have not spoken to either of them at all since the day I found out. Not me. But my friend found out her fiancé was cheating when his sex tape came up on their Apple TV screensaver. Yeah. Unfortunately, our son saw wrist photos of my ex's GFS. He was 12 at the time. I never knew until recently. Naturally, he thinks his father's a total pause. When the work trip photos featured a landmark that's been closed for renovation for 2 years. Google Maps is a silent hero. My mom found out about my dad because he put the blankets back on the bed upside down. And he actually did a load of laundry was playing with. Daughter on mom's iPad, and mama sent FB Messenger messages from her phone to the dude she was cheating with, which also pinned the iPad. Girlfriend broke up with me in years. Later got married, and we still had the same friend group. So I was invited to the wedding. Her sister gave a speech, and when she explained when they first started dating, we were still together at that time. Years later, a guy who was around the group mentioned he also slept with her drunkenly while we were together. So, a 2-for-1. Oddly enough, she's very religious. Condom in the laundry. When I was 4 months pregnant, he was unpacking and telling me about a work trip when an open box of condoms in his suitcase caught my eye. We were literally trying to get pregnant, so condoms were unnecessary for him. The next day, I checked his iPad while he was at work, and he had been doing it for about a year, with lots of different people. Somebody put it on Facebook with them making out in the parking lot. 2 days before my husband passed away, he told me he had been with over 20 men during our 25-year marriage. It's been over 4 years, and I'm still in shock and haven't cried one tear over the loss. His brother told me by accident. Maybe it wasn't by accident, just set up to look that way. Maybe his brother is a good guy. Noticing repeated work emergencies that don't add up. My cheating ex concocted a doozy of a story once for a very white-collar job. On a Saturday afternoon, there was allegedly a high-speed car chase that ended with telephone poles being taken out that cut the power to his entire office building. For some reason, he had to rush in to help fix the power situation. Yeah, no. Where we lived, this would have easily made the news, but there was zero mention of it anywhere online. I didn't find out until after we were separated because I had 2 young children to take care of. The lady, a co-worker of his, approached me in the grocery of our little town. She felt sorry for me. She said that the times he called and said he was offered 4 hours overtime. You was actually at her apartment. Are you glad she told you the truth? Or do you wish she would have kept it to herself instead? I was glad to find out the truth, but it was hurtful to hear from her and others the lies he told about me. My therapist helped me process the bullshit. We're already in counseling because I found a lot of women's clothing hidden in his drawers, and it turned out he'd been cross-dressing. Wasn't the issue for me. We were there because he felt like he had to hide himself from me, and I suggested we try counseling where he can talk to a neutral party. On our way back from a session, a message popped up on his phone from Amanda asking how it was going with, and he quickly swiped it away. I asked what it was, and he said it was nothing. We got home and I picked up his phone because my gut was churning. He had deleted the conversation with Amanda, but there was another one where he'd been sexting a trans person and they'd been sending pictures back and forth in lingerie, talking about what they do to each other, comparing dicks, etc. He had been the one to initiate the conversation with this girl at the recommendation of Amanda, who was aware he had a girlfriend, and the other girl was also aware he was in a relationship. He sobbed and said he was a fuck-up, that he didn't mean to hurt me, that he loved me and wanted to be with me. I told him that clearly wasn't good enough and said he needs to figure himself out. I don't care if he cross-dresses, is in the closet, whatever. What I do care about is monogamy, and the least he could have done is have a conversation with me instead of cheating. I have never been homophobic and have always been supportive of the queer community, something he knew, and we had many conversations about. He said I was leaving him because he was confused. I said no, I'm leaving because you cheated. His Apple Watch? I still remember we were watching a movie and suddenly a message popped up saying, "Look what I cooked. For you, love, not the best feeling that gonna lie." She had that setting on her phone that makes the screen turn on when you get a new message. She left her phone on the table while she went to the bathroom and got a message from the guy that was just a friend saying, "Send me another sexy photo." She swore he was only joking, but she could never really explain why he said another. I moved away for college in my early 20s. We were FaceTiming, and he handed his little brother the phone to say hi, and he walked away for a second. His little brother was in a computer chair, and he spun around in rotations, and I realized that there's a girl in my boyfriend's bed. I asked who the little brother who's in boyfriend's bed, and I've never heard running sound so loud. It was like a cartoon sound bit. You heard the frame swinging on the wall and falling. He snatched the phone and refused to flip the camera to show me his bed. I hang up and started forward his calls. He thinks I'm upset and ignoring him. In reality, I was driving the 2 hours back home. Pulled up to his house, and his mom wouldn't let me in. He still lived at home, and she hated me because I wasn't a part of their culture. So I called him on repeat. He'd lived in the same place with his parents our entire 6-year relationship. So I was familiar with the block he lived on and the regular cars. Immediately clock her car, and I just sit on the trunk. It's easily 9:10 at this point, and my thought was she's got to leave at some point. They have a conservative culture, so she wouldn't be staying the night even if she was hanging out in his bed. Lo and behold, him finally walking out and apologizing and asked me not to make a scene. He's sorry, blah blah, and even had the audacity to bring out a ring he's been wanting to give me. Absolute shit fucker. He said, "I love you, Emily," in his sleep. Emily was one of my bridesmaids, and she was also married. Found an email asking for a BJ from a gal when he was in the area for work. They would meet on a dirt road off the main road. He literally had white magnetic cover-ups for the logo on his work truck. Had just secured a new apartment for us. She's disabled with an autoimmune disease as well as being sick on top of that in the winter. So I did most of the moving myself. I spent a month packing and moving off of our third floor apartment to the new one on a second floor. I was working full-time during the week and going to classes 2 nights per week for my apprenticeship at the time. So my days were beyond packed. And we had 3 dogs and a ferret. At first, we couldn't qualify, and I found out it was due to her past debts. So I set up payment plans for some of them, and that got us cleared to qualify for the new apartment. Then I paid the first and last per usual when renting, as well as paying for U-Haul trucks 4 weekends in a row and packing and moving stuff to a storage unit until we could move in. We also planned on not keeping everything in the new apartment, since we were downsizing from a 2BR 2BH to a 1BR 1BH, totaled in the ballpark of $5,000. On top of all of this, I was coming home, caring for the animals, and cooking dinner every night for us or ordering in if I was too tired. She didn't have a lot of energy, and her weight was constantly dropping to the point I wanted to take her to the hospital. She's naturally very small, only 105 pounds, on average at 5 feet 6. Just super slender. We finally moved in, and she's still sick. Hadn't been to work more than 4 days in 2 months, and I was getting strapped on finances. It was snowing constantly, even when I was moving everything, and the weather was affecting her fibro, apparently making her feel worse. The second night in asked her how she was feeling, and if she wanted to have sex or cuddle. I was stressed the fuck out and needed any kind of sign from her that things were okay. Because she had been very distant for a while, and I figured it was her fibro and being sick. But she wouldn't even speak to me, but instead would just lay there on her phone with her back to me, or she was sleeping. She broke up with me on the spot, didn't even skip a beat. I was so shocked. I had no words. So I stood up, took a pillow and a blanket and went to the living room and slept on the floor. She asked where I was going, and I told her, I'm not going to sleep in a bed where I'm not wanted. 2 nights after that, I happened to be watching a movie with her in the bedroom. Leon had only set up one of the TVs at the time, and the dogs were piled on us per usual. I passed out in the bed. 2 a.m. or 2:30 a.m. rolls around, and her phone is blowing up and wakes me up. I'm super curious and shouldn't have looked, but I did. I pay for it anyways, and if she's got someone else to replace me already, I wanted to know. No, I deserve to know. Sure enough, all the messages to her ex are right there. His name was changed to Spam Risk to mask who it actually was and appear as a spam caller flagged by our provider. I had seen the same message feed on her phone months before, but never opened it. I just assumed it was legit. After reading for about 20 minutes, heart racing, emotions firing off in every direction of immense sadness, betrayal, regret, fear, rage, etc., I woke her up and confronted her about it. I yelled only once in the beginning to wake her up, but after that, I was as calm as I could possibly be. This was a woman I had been planning to propose to. The first woman I had dated in over 10 years, and the first I had even allowed to touch me in 5 years. Who meant more to me than life itself. The rest of the story is pretty brutal. But in short, she moved out 2.5 months later. But not after assaulting me and chipping my puppy in her name and stealing her. She took everything in the house too that wasn't from my personal storage unit, leaving only an old coffee maker, a tiny ass chair, and the extra fold-up bed with a few blankets, which was our extra bed in the guest room of our last place. I have since graduated my apprenticeship program and now make 3x what I was when we were together. No idea if she's still with the homewrecker or not, but she is still working in her field, and she finally got her spinal implants for her fibro pain management, which we had been trying to get her to qualify for, but she was missing too much work, so her insurance wouldn't accept her back then. I miss who she was and what she meant to me back then a lot, but since she's been gone a little over a year now, my life is definitely calmer. I miss the dogs too. She took all of the animals and the silence. Coming home the first day after she finally left, what deafening. The usual rowdy and chaotic dogs, 2 blue heeler and a beagle, and not having them greet me at the door was heart-wrenching. I really do miss it, even still. I battled with suicidal tendencies for most of the past year, as well as very intense depression. Finally starting to feel like myself the past few weeks though, slowly but surely. Just still very lonely. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos. Leave a like. See you soon.